Now I'm going to be headed to the kitchen to talk about the issue that we all women face as we age, the weight gain. It's also a symptom of menopause. In fact, on average, women gain about 1.5 pounds per year between the ages of 50 and 60. But hormonal changes alone don't necessarily cause weight gain. And here with more on that is Dr. Mahmouda Tasneem, an internal medicine physician specializing in obesity and weight loss at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Amity, for having me
over. 100% an important thing to start with, because I think we all feel it, the weight gain as we get older. So it's very common in our middle years, right? I mean, 60 to 70% of women experience it according to our numbers. Besides hormones, what are the other factors that lead to us gaining weight as we age?
So actually, the hormone is one of the most important things. This causes weight gain irrespective of what you weighed before.
Irrespective.
Yes.
That's why I said I used to feel like this and now I feel like this.
Yeah, so it's independent.
How does the hormone do that? What is it doing?
So estrogen protects us somewhat. So when we get menopause, the estrogen levels go down, and that causes weight gain around the abdominal area.
Right here.
Yes, that's it. That's it. And it doesn't happen to all of us. About 70% of us kind of do that.
Okay.
The few 30 are fortunate. They don't have
30. I am not in the 30.
Yeah. So most of us will do that. So that's one. The second thing is just the aging process. I mean, you have people always say, maybe my metabolism is slow.
Right.
There's some truth to it. Because as we get older, our muscle masses go down. At the age of 30, it starts going down. And muscle utilizes energy beautifully. So everything you eat, your muscle takes it and expends it. Now, think you don't have muscles. What happens, right? So everything you eat doesn't know where to go, so it gets stored.
Thank you so much for explaining kind of the mechanics behind why this is happening and why it's important to exercise and why it's important to eat well. And diet really plays a major role here. And I've heard that sugar is the worst culprit in our weight gain ever, right?
Totally. Totally. So I just have some few examples. I mean, the few things that we really need to pay attention to is processed food, whether it's meat or any processed food, sugar, alcohol. Those are the three big things. So if you look at the things that Americans commonly eat, my kids love this.
My kids love that too.
Okay? But 1 cup is 130 calories, so nobody eats a cup. We all eat 2 cups.
And is this the amount of sugar that's in one bowl?
Yes.
See, now I see this and I think, ew, gross. I would never eat that much. I would never just down that much sugar.
24 grams of sugar. So as a woman, we are allowed 6 teaspoons of sugar a day.
A day.
A man is allowed 9 teaspoons of sugar a day. That is 25 and 35.
Okay, so that's way.
This in one meal, 24 gone.
Not worth it. Not worth it.
This, everybody thinks, oh, it's coffee.
Yeah, coffee.
I'll drink this, 39 grams of sugar.
You know what? My grandma always likes to get those eggnog lattes, and I tell
Guess
her,
what?
This is bad. And I know I can avoid this. Later down the line, what you're going to show us is something that I literally have in my pantry now that I was really concerned about. Also, soda. That is something that some of us have a really hard time giving up.
Totally. 69 grams of sugar.
69 grams?
Yes, ma'am. There you go. So
look at this. Can you imagine slugging that down? No, thank you.
Not one. Some of us have 2 of these a day. So just take a deep breath and think about that, right? So nobody looks at the serving size.
And diet's not really better because of the chemicals, right?
Diet is not better because of processed, right? The processed food, there's still lots of studies going on. We don't know how it's going to impact it, but diet uses sugar substitutes. And they say that if you drink that often, when you actually taste the real sugar, it doesn't taste so sweet. So you eat more of it. So then instead of eating 1 chocolate bar, you're going to eat 2 to get that oomph.
Okay.
So there you go.
You have so much great information. I'm so glad you're here. All right, Oreos. I have these in my pantry right now. They're the gluten-free kind, which I know doesn't make them any better, but 28 grams of sugar?
In 6 Oreos.
In 6 Oreos.
If you ate 6.
Okay. Well, my kids are eating more than that, and I don't want to have a problem. This surprised me seeing this here. This is a Lara bar,
so
okay? Every woman I know is going into the gym eating one of these energy bars. Why are those so bad?
Because that's 20 grams of sugar. That's your whole... If you eat this, you're left with 1 teaspoon for the rest of the day.
Well,
so don't
that's
forget.
not fair.
Thank you.
Wait, okay, so you've got these side by side. What are you trying to tell me here?
They're both the same amount of sugar.
She just dropped the mic on that one, ladies and gentlemen. What would you prefer? A Hershey's bar or a Lara bar? I know my answer. Another thing, by the way, when we get to the end, let's get to the end of this. This I just made with this exact product. I made a skillet thinking it was super healthy. This is smoked sausage. I thought, oh, this is healthy with some veggies and stuff all skilleted up. This is not healthy?
So any processed meat, you want to be careful because it's loaded with saturated fat and sodium. Don't forget, if you have blood pressure, the one thing you want to get rid of is sodium. You need to keep your sodium level down to 2.3 grams.
Did someone tell you about my recent high blood pressure diagnosis?
I think I heard a Tweety bird.
That's so good to know. All right, what about, I find it really hard. I used to be a reporter in the field on the road. It was hard to get access to food. I know a lot of people, if they're traveling or even as the holidays come, you're at a party. High calorie foods is all that's available. So what are other situational and physical barriers to weight loss that we can kind of mitigate?
So it's convenience, right? Fast food is convenient. If you're a soccer mom, you have all these kids, you have to take them home. What are you going to do? Stop at a convenient food.
Yeah.
Fast food, get convenient. Why is it bad? Again, sugar, processed meat, right?
Okay.
So eating out, alcohol, socializing, which we all do. We want to socialize.
Yeah.
But socializing too often with family, with friends, when you go out to eat, you just don't eat. You always have a dessert and a drink.
I do. Okay, so mitigate that. I know that you were talking about how the weight gains here, I've heard that that can lead to, the proximity of the fat to the organs can lead to lots of diseases. Can you tell me how this weight gain can start or worsen chronic diseases and some studies that you're looking at now?
Sure. Actually, the biggest thing is mobility issues with weight gain. As you gain more weight, you hurt more, so you can't move. Then you gain more weight, and then you can't move. It becomes a vicious cycle. But diabetes, hypertension are really known factors. And remember, we just talked about the menopause and how we gain about 1 to 2 pounds every year for 10 years. They noticed that even if you gain 10 pounds to 15 pounds, they did a big study and they found that 27%, even that normal weight gain, puts you at a high risk for cardiovascular disease.
All right.
So knowing that, you can mitigate it.
I got one last question.
Yes,
We are actually out of time, but I have to ask you this last question. How women can achieve long-term success in weight management? Because that's what I think we all struggle with.
Look at your barriers.
Okay.
That is where you start working. Start slow. Start with sugar.
Get
rid of sugar first, then go to the processed meat. Just start doing your calories. 500 calories down.
Oh my gosh. This has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I've learned so much. And you make this so approachable. I thank you so much for being here today and for talking to our viewers. And to learn more about weight management services offered at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health, visit the website on your screen, vmfh.org/weight management.
This special presentation of New Day Northwest, sponsored by Virginia Mason Franciscan Health.